Join me in congratulating our first group of graduates. At this time, I'd like to call upon Ms. Chidabem Onwekwe to introduce our guest speaker.
Good afternoon. My name is Chidabem Onwekwe, and it is my privilege to introduce a special guest and proud Philabi alumnus of St. Mary's High School, Mr. Joel Tellerico, from the graduating class of 2011. Joel's journey after St. Mary's has been one of purpose and impact. He attended Carleton University in Ottawa, where he earned a 4-year degree in Bachelor of Public Affairs and Policy Management, with a specialization in strategic public opinion and policy analysis in just 3 years, thanks to his IB credits, followed by a master's in political management. During this time, Joel became active in politics, working with the Liberal Party of Canada, where he helped lead local and federal campaigns, including efforts to draft, develop, and pass key legislation such as the Federal Prompt Payment for Construction Work Act, and helped to shepherd the Accessible Canada Act through Parliament. Joel returned to Calgary to pursue both his Juris Doctor and MBA degree at the University of Calgary. While there, he held several leadership roles, including serving 4 years with the Society of Law Students, 2 of which as president. He also launched new initiatives to promote mental health and student well-being, and was recognized for his efforts with the Campbell McLaurin Achievement Award, which is presented annually to a graduating student who has not only achieved high academic standing, but who has also made a significant contribution to the life of the law school. Today, Joel is completing his articles at the Calgary Law Firm and has accepted a position in their corporate commercial and mergers and acquisitions group following his call to bar later this summer. Joel's story is one of leadership, integrity, and service. His path reflects a deep commitment to making a difference through both public service and the law. Please join me in warmly welcoming back Mr. Joel Tellerico to St. Mary's as he shares his journey and insights with us this afternoon.
Good afternoon, honored guests, family, friends, faculty, and most importantly, graduates. It's truly an honor to be here today. To be honest with you, this is all a little bit surreal for me. When I was first asked by Mrs. Erickson to give the graduation address, I was a bit taken aback. Me? Feels like just yesterday that I was sitting in your shoes. Though admittedly, the grays starting to come through do remind me that it has been 14 years since I graduated. But still, I only graduated from law school and from my MBA last year, and my job title still is articling student 14 years later. However, when I reflected on my journey and I heard the theme of this year's graduation, I realized I did have a story to tell. This year's theme of all dreams are within reach, all you have to do is keep moving towards them. Today is all about dreams and what it takes to achieve them. But what I have learned about chasing your dreams is that effort matters. The more interesting people I met, the deeper my friendships became, and the more fulfilled I felt. It also helped that the more involved I became in my community, the more opportunities came my way. By this point, I was deeply involved in Liberal politics. I had been the Young Liberal of Canada's VP policy. I had organized for Justin Trudeau's leadership campaign on campus. I had worked in the Senate and for a local Ontario MPP. I had been a part of 15 different nomination campaigns, as well as numerous other inter-party campaigns. And honestly, for most of these opportunities, I didn't get them by having to beat out a lot of other people. I simply put my hand up. I made the effort. I cared about what I was doing, and I put in the work. To this point, it felt like all roads in my life were leading towards one thing: the 2015 federal election. The dream had once again shifted. I wanted to run a federal election campaign as the campaign manager and win. And wouldn't you know it, I did. Together with my now wife, we ran a campaign for the Liberal candidate in Kenora, Ontario, defeating a sitting Conservative cabinet minister and the former leader of the Ontario NDP. October 19th, 2015 was one of the happiest days of my life. There I was, 22 years old. I felt on top of the world. I'd achieved one of my dreams. Looking back, however, that's when things started to get tough. Up to that point in my life, I was on autopilot. I went from high school to undergrad to master's to working on this campaign. And the path felt like it was always on one track. And suddenly, just like that, I was off that track, launched into a working world, uncertain of what my dreams were and feeling directionless. I felt like the dog that had caught its tail, unsure what to do next. I moved back to Ottawa, and shortly after the election, to a job in a minister's office, mostly because that's what I studied for, and that's just what people around me did. Maybe my dream was to work my way up and become a chief of staff, I thought. But this is where dreams met the reality of the daily grind. It gave me amazing opportunities. I got to make a difference in people's lives. I helped lay the groundwork for a new bridge to be built between Ottawa and Gatineau, the first bridge built in that area since 1970. I helped draft the Federal Prompt Payment for Construction Work Act, which helps ensure construction contractors and subcontractors are paid in a timely manner. And I helped pass the Accessible Canada Act, an act which aims to make Canada barrier-free by 2040. And I got to do cool things. I stood on the roof of West Block during its final phases of construction. I got to change the Canadian flag on the top of the Peace Tower. And on a near daily basis, I got to be pushed aside by the RCMP to make room for the Prime Minister as he entered the lobby of the House of Commons for question period that day. But at a certain point, I came to realize that becoming a Chief of Staff might not be a dream that I could realize, at least not at that point. No matter how hard I worked and how much effort I put in, I just couldn't move up. Every time there was an opportunity to advance, there seemed to be an obstacle I couldn't beat. I couldn't speak French, I was still quite young, and I didn't have the skills that matched the open positions to take the next steps. I became restless, dejected, and unsatisfied. 4 years into the job, my now wife, who had a similar position at me, made the jump to law school. And after watching her during her first semester at U of T Law, it reignited my original dream. Maybe it was time for me to go to law school. Now, for the lawyers in the audience, I know I sound like a crazy person who watches somebody in their first year of law school and thinks, yes, I want to do that. But sure enough, that's what I did. So there I was, 27 years old, nearly a decade into building a life and career in Ottawa, packing up to move back to Calgary to start all over again. And what about all that effort in my previous career? Was it all for nothing? Absolutely not. While my grades in my LSAT was fine, one of the reasons I got into law school was because of those efforts. Because of my work, I had 2 reference letters, one from my minister and one from my parliamentary secretary, which helped get me in. And my current job? Well, I have that to my work experience as well. Now, my dreams are unique to me, as yours will be to you. For some of you, this may be the end of your academic road. For others, it's just the beginning. But I hope to leave you with this. Dreams change, and that's okay. But what matters is the effort you put in. Whether it be in academics, your career, your relationships, your family, or your community, the more you put in, the more rewarding it will be, and the more that you will get from it. You are in the driver's seat of your own life. There will inevitably be things that will happen to you that you can't control. What you can control is how you respond and how you keep moving forward. And while what you get from your efforts might not always be what you expected, you'll always, always be better for it. Keep moving to your dreams. With some effort, I know that, like me, you'll reach them. Thank you.
I would now like to call on Ms. Sofia Matos Salazar to respond to our guest speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sofia Matos Salazar, and it is my privilege to thank our guest speaker, Mr. Joel Florico, for his moving words. Joel, your story and your message was simultaneously grounding and uplifting, in reminding us that all dreams are within reach if we just continue to move towards them. You have given us not only a sense of possibility, but also a challenge to take ownership of our lives with courage, perseverance, and with purpose. Your reflections on effort and control, what we decide to put into this life is also what we get out of it, resonate deeply as we begin to step into the vast and imposing world of adulthood, preparing us for all the challenges that will be strewn across our path. You've demonstrated to us the value of commitment, both in your career and in your service to others. And we are incredibly grateful for your encouragement, along with your honesty. Thank you for being here with us today, and for inspiring us to keep pushing forward no matter the setbacks. The message you have given us is one that we will carry for a lifetime. Please accept this gift as a token of our appreciation.
Thank you, Chidabem and Sophia, and thank you again, Mr. Tellerico, for your relevant and wonderful presentation of the graduating class. I would now like to call upon Ms. Braithwaite to present the second group of graduates, followed by Mr. D'Angelo for the final group, and Mr. Masterson to receive them.
Erin Casanares. Ashley De La Rosa. Aya Jovel.
It is now time to hear from our class valedictorian, Ms. Claire Franco. As a dedicated IB student and an active member of our French immersion program, Claire has contributed immeasurably to our school's many clubs and board councils. Additionally, her role as a peer tutor and Spectrum Club leader has showcased her commitment to supporting her classmates. Claire has consistently demonstrated her dedication and spirit throughout her time at St. Mary's. Without further ado, I introduce to you St. Mary's valedictorian of 2025, Ms. Claire Franco.
Hello? Whoa, I got sick right before this, but I'll be fine. Hello, class of 2025, staff, parents, friends, family, trustee, and dedicated community members. With the unifying nature of our faith in mind, I have decided to take a spin at a Catholic classic, the Beatitudes, St. Mary's edition. Blessed are those who participate. For the students who joined clubs or sought out opportunities for volunteer work. It is in our hours dedicated to reading buddies, tutoring, and student council where our spirit as saints may be witnessed. The leadership you have exemplified in our community does not go unnoticed. Blessed are the leaders, for they will be fulfilled. Blessed are those who create. For our artists, our actors, and our musicians, your intense dedication to your craft and creativity is a reminder to all students that those given a voice may thrive. It has been a blessing to be overwhelmed by students with such powerful stage presences. We are grateful for the moments you decorated our building, lifted a voice in church, and electrified a basketball game. Blessed be the artists of all kinds, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who played sports, for our athletes, victorious or not. It is in witnessing you play that we understand the portion of our mantra, teach me discipline. The eternal noises of basketball shoes on our gym floor and endless miscellaneous practices ring as loud as the church bells. You have given us something to cheer for. May you carry the saints' discipline throughout your careers in athletics. Blessed be the athletes, for you will be satisfied. Blessed are those who thirst for knowledge. For our IB students, and all the hours of work which have gone into owning that title. The world needs brains that have been challenged today, not be a symbol of completion, but a reminder that the work of a learner is never done. Blessed be the International Baccalaureate students, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who have struggled. For those who have made it to today, despite challenges which felt insurmountable. Those who arrived at graduation having relied on the support of friends, family, and those in the community. You are often silent members of our circles. May the difficulties you have faced not subtract from the joy you feel today. Blessed be those who have struggled, for they will be comforted. Blessed are those called to vocation. For the teachers who came early or who stayed late. Those who extended their ILO periods to help us finish an essay, or who reviewed a concept until it finally stuck. Without you, the learning in this building would be greatly reduced. Your choice to wake up every day and teach teenagers is honestly incredibly questionable. Blessed are the teachers, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are those in our community, for the vibrant neighborhood which surrounds St. Mary's. This includes the coffee line at Rosso's, all of the masses held by the cathedral, and all of the threatening parking notices. And all of the practices hosted by MNP. A high school does not become an effective place to raise young people unless it is integrated into the bigger picture. Your acceptance of us is reflected in the students here today. Blessed be those in the community, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for our administration and all of the conflicts they mediated, resolved, and thought about on their time off. This extends to all of our staff. Our secretaries for their orderly nature, those running school programs, controlling our finances, and counseling us through those moments where we are so 17. All your worrying and dedication has paid off. Blessed be our staff, for they will be called the children of God. Finally, blessed are the saints, those who celebrate our school's diversity, cheer like crazy for school spirit, and show up with their brains on. Those who were startled at Mr. O'Donnell entering a math class, received a textbook older than them, and arrived at diplomas feeling prepared. Those who felt the echoes of school construction rattle in their bones and chose to focus anyways. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire, for that heartfelt and insightful reflection of our journey together as a class, one that truly resonates with us all. And now, as a symbol of our graduation, I ask that all graduates move their tassels on their caps from right to left. This gesture represents our transition from our time here at St. Mary's to the unknown but blessed adventures that the future holds. Graduates, this marks the end of our ceremony, and more importantly, the end of a long but beautiful journey. I present to you the St. Mary's graduating class of 2025. Class of 2025, it's time. Let's mark this moment the way grads always have. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's just take one more moment to thank all of our special guests. And last but not least, I would like to congratulate all of the graduates today on our remarkable achievements and wish for our futures to be filled with as much love, spirit, and community as it was here at St. Mary's. Please allow our special guests to exit first, followed by graduates, then friends and family. Photos can be taken once outside. Graduates, the regalia is yours to keep as a souvenir of this momentous occasion. The recessional will now begin.
I was just really just waiting for that word.